Boom, 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 boom. And tell me what you gonna do when there ain't nowhere to run. Just me cause of you, cause it's gonna get people out body. He misses Uncle Charlie. The voodoo guys got him. They're gonna everybody in the world came to put the bang, bang, clap the thing. Halloween Blowout Season 2 premiere. Season 2, it's been too long. It's been way too long, but the time has finally come. We've gotten our busy schedules all aligned to meet in some sort of crisscross star-crossed lovers.
Crisscross will make you
Jump.
The
stars have aligned. That's what I was saying. And the time has come for the Season 2 premiere. Halloween style, baby. Halloween Bones, special Bones edition today. Special Bones edition where we will be focused mostly on bum, 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 bum. But a lot has happened in the first 2 weeks of the season. And a lot happened in the off season, none of which we've been able to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So
no preseason Nuggets. Bros on Nuggs, so we got to get caught up.
We're going to catch you all up on where we stand as Bros on Nuggs in terms of the Nuggets season, our expectations, our hopes and dreams, which will all come to fruition, I'm sure, by the end of the season as the Nuggets hang a championship banner next year, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's where we are, and we're excited about the season indeed. And we've decided to air this during the Broncos game, so and almost kind of a protest against our Denver Broncos right now, who it looked like they were driving pretty well in the first drive, but
we weren't watching.
No, good point.
Had we been watching, I'll tell you, two gloves would have done something.
Yeah, the moment we start watching, it'd be an interception or
fumble or just something stupid.
All right, we digress.
Yeah, we'll save Bros on asses for another time. The Broncos do suck.
Figure your shit out.
Yeah, there it is.
There he is. Time out with Timmy.
Here we go. There we go.
They suck.
They're really
didn't realize it would be this early, did you?
Well, I'm sure we'll save a little room to talk about the Broncos and our frustrations with that team. But right now, we need to talk about the Nuggets, who have started the season well. I think minus dropping that Cavaliers game. We would say you probably go into Utah and lose that game. And obviously the Jokic injury scare kind of blew that whole thing apart. We were competing with them at the time. Yeah. So I would say a positive start to the season overall. But we're going to break down a few of the games for you. We're going to break down Bones Highland and kind of beg Malone to play him a bit more, which happened last night on a back-to-back when you needed some injury or some energy.
Yeah,
and that worked out for us. So, but yeah, overall, just start of the season vibes on our Nuggets. How are you guys feeling? Will, please.
Yeah, I still feel like we're going to be one of the top teams in the Western Conference right now. With how many good teams there are in the West, I'm anxious to see how long we can keep our head above water here. And I guess maybe that's not fair to say, but. Waiting until obviously we can be full strength with Jamal Murray. But really like what we did in the offseason and how we're going to have this core group together for a long time with re-signing Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. When we have lost, obviously, the beloved Paul Millsap. He is now with the Nets, but we've replaced him with Jeff Green, who I think is a good two-way player. A little bit younger, but still savvy veteran that can be beneficial to the team and lead. And I like we're going to talk about. Yeah, I really like our draft pick. That's going to provide some scoring and some energy off the bench in Bones Highland. So most part, I really like how the roster is constructed. I think one thing that does make me nervous with the current roster is no backup center.
But Bull.
But particularly when you're not going to play Bull, if JaMychal Green is going to play as your backup center, but as you can see, it hasn't really affected us too bad. But the second unit, which we'll talk about that later. Cheers.
Cheers.
There he goes. There it is.
Hey, we'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm. hasn't performed. So I really wish we could have kept a guy like JaVale McGee. I'm just talking about roster construction prior to the season starting. So, but overall, still excited. Yeah. What are you guys feeling about the roster?
Yeah, Timmy, how you feeling about the start of the season?
Good.
Good.
I've missed games for different reasons, traveling, family in town, baby's birthdays. But what I have watched, I've enjoyed. I thought it was important to, without Jamal Murray, to come out and play the way we did against the Suns in Game 1. While that first quarter was awesome, second quarter was horrible. Kind of felt like it was going to be the same story as last year where we were always going to struggle in the second quarter. We still continue to, but not quite as bad. But I think coming out and beating the Suns on the road in that first game of the season kind of set a tone for the Nuggets and for what people to expect moving forward, because they were a Western Conference Finals team. And so to be able to go out there and do that and kind of shut down Devin Booker. Obviously, Chris Paul is going to get his stupid little – we have no idea how to defend his pick and roll where he shoots from the foul line extended. But I thought that was a huge win in my eyes. And then to go on a very nice game and beat the Spurs, which in my eyes as well is always going to be a big victory. Obviously, they aren't what they once were, but at one point in time, they were El Guapo. So anytime we could beat them, I feel like in those two losses, you kind of see with the amount of turnovers and whatnot, you're kind of seeing a little bit of what you saw in the playoffs last year in round 2 against the Suns, but the missing Jamal Murray. I think you're going to see that from time to time until he comes back. But all in all, it's been, I think, an encouraging start to the season, all things considered. I really do believe, much like Will was saying, that Young Bones needs to get more time. And hopefully, we said this last year about RJ Hampton, but hopefully before injuries happen, Malone will get over his ideal of not playing rookies and get this guy a little bit more playing time. Because I feel like as injuries happen and we get deeper in the season and into the playoffs, a young player like that could be that spark we need off the bench. So hopefully he'll be able to get his minutes, but I am definitely encouraged on the season.
Encouraging start indeed.
Encouragement.
Good. Push. I also feel encouraged about the start to the season. I wish we didn't have that Jokic injury scare in that Utah game, so that we could have seen what we were really like there. Even without Jamal Murray, good things are happening, and we'll get to the positives of the season.
He rips up Rudy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gobert cannot. No. Can't even guard him. No. We'll get to the positives.
All he can do is spread COVID.
Start the whole lockdown. Rudy Gobert. Yeah, exactly. Making fun of it, mocking it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Nah. Hold on.
But we digress.
I knew where I was going.
Sorry,
now
man.
it's gone.
We went this way.
We will get to positives later. I'd like us to start with negatives, but first, I think we should start with the lack of moves. Will was starting to allude to this in his intro. The lack of moves in the offseason. We pick up Jeff Green, and we do nothing else. And while I've enjoyed Jeff Green, the first couple games were rough, but he seems to be settling in. And I like what he brings to the table. I think he is a as they say in soccer, a man-for-man like replacement. You know what I mean? Like you're basically taking Paul Millsap and replacing him with Paul Millsap, except it's Jeff Green. But I like what he's doing there. But there's no other moves. Did we need to try to improve anywhere in the offseason? And is that going to hurt us in the long run, the fact that we did not? Do you guys have an answer to that question?
I think we could have done some other things to strengthen our roster. While I get bringing back Austin Rivers, I don't necessarily dislike that move, but I think there could have been other veterans that could have filled that void a little bit better. I think someone like a Victor Oladipo might have been able at this point to be brought in at a veteran minimum.
Yep.
And
I would have liked that.
I would have liked to re-sign JaVale McGee.
Yes, for sure.
If possible. So
yeah.
That would have been no. Come on, bud. You're about to run into that. Sorry. So, kiddos. While we try to do a live. That's my son.
He was going to jump that. Or
That's
he
my
was
son.
gonna
I'm
slide
pretty
that
sure
in.
he was about to take that camera out.
Yeah, he might have.
He's a Davis. He has no sense of any of that stuff. But anyway, yeah. So I think we could have done a little bit more. And it's hard when you see, even though it's not working out right now, teams like the Lakers completely revamp. Some other teams reload. A lot of other, teams in our division even get a little, I don't know, I guess get a little bit better, but continuity, right? That's what we're all going for. I'm glad that we re-signed. We wanted it. So far this season, Aaron Gordon's been playing really well. So making that a priority and re-signing him has turned out to be a smart move already.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Smart move indeed. I am a bit concerned about the lack of strength at the center position.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets in foul trouble, it's going to be a problem.
The Lakers will dominate our second squad. Our second unit, the Lakers will dominate, and that's going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm. Depth.
Yeah. We have depth everywhere except at the center position. And it seems like the West, intentionally trying to beat Jokic, has built nothing but depth at the center position amongst all their squads. And I do think that's going to hurt us in the long run. We may, though, be able to figure out this second unit and just be like a crazy, like run and gun type of second. But we said that last year, right? And
we wanted them to push the pace.
It never really came to fruition. We are the sixth best team right now in the NBA as of last night when it comes to fast break points. So we are trying to push the pace a little bit.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. I'm concerned about our depth at center, and obviously Bol will be gone by the trade deadline. He's not playing for us ever. I'm sorry.
I like him too.
I don't like Austin Rivers. I think we could have done better, as you said. I think we could have done better there. But he hit two big shots. But what's a big shot? He hit an open three finally.
Oh, he finally hit an open corner three.
Exactly. But that's he's what I dislike about Austin Rivers is the continuity of the offense gets stuck in when the ball hits his hands. Like for whatever reason, he wants to do a jab step. He wants to do a dribble move first.
Yeah.
He never wants to keep the continuity or the flow of the offense going. And he should be better than that at this point, especially in our team that needs continuity and constant flow. You got to move the ball, and he's not doing it. Tim, thoughts on our off-season real quick? Lack thereof, moves, lack thereof.
I was happy, like you guys have already said, kind of beating a dead horse, but I'm happy we re-signed AG. I think that was good. He plays good defense for us, like he did the other night. He got beat up a little bit in that second round series in the playoffs, but that was a learning lesson. That was a learning on the fly for him. I like that we signed Michael Porter Jr. Don't be a dumbass. Go get your shot, bro.
Right.
You're making millions of dollars, man. And if you truly want to win a championship, you'll be a team player and you'll figure that out on your own.
When we go on our New York road trip, you can't come.
But put your big boy britches on, man. Put your big boy britches on and enjoy that paycheck we gave you. I need to see more out of him. I wish we would have signed someone else. It did kind of hurt. Not that we played McGee very often in the playoffs, but we are lacking there. I know we did sign that two-way contract with that center from France who played.
Yeah,
Cornelius.
What was his name?
He's pronounced his name.
Pietre Corneli, I think. And if anybody watched any of the Olympics this summer, that guy has a decent game that could transition into being a good backup in NBA. It's just a matter of getting him in there and getting that time.
Good point.
Good point, Timmy.
Yeah, great point. I forgot about that.
So it'll be interesting to see what we do with him. Now, again, he would be quote unquote, even though he's not young, but he'd be like a Facu, an older rookie. So it'd be interesting to see if he can actually get some playing time down the road. But if not, we'll definitely have to make a move at some point this season to bring in some depth at that center position because I'm a little worried about, AD and Dwight Howard when we play the Lakers.
And Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
Or who's the other dude that plays for them?
No, it's DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
They're all old,
but they're big.
They're strong, and they're powerful, but the Lakers are old. So I'm hoping that that helps, the West a little bit. But I have some hope. I do think I wish we had signed after All-Star Weekend, like you watch All-Star Weekend last year, everybody loves Jokic. And everybody on the West was like, it was so much fun to finally play with him and not against him. You'd think we'd now have, at least while we have Jokic in the core we have, you would think we'd have some marketability to bring in, not necessarily like a tier one, free agent, but maybe like a tier two free agent that would really help us out depth wise. So,
but we couldn't get one, and we spent all our money on MPJ, who's playing like shit.
Yeah. that one's not looking good early in the season right now.
No. And Scott Hastings, God bless him, is just like, it'll come, guys. It's going to come. And it should.
It came last year. He struggled last year early on, and it came.
I don't know. He's usually at least pretty efficient. And that 3-point shot is not
he's right shooting 27% right now from the three. I think that's an issue, obviously, and this is a good transition into the negatives to the start of the season, which, I mean, you don't want to be a curmudgeon this early on, but there are some things that we need to talk about, and I think MPJ is at the top of that list. The dude, at least last night, was active on the boards, as you commented on, Will.
Yep.
But he hasn't been that way this whole season. And the thing is, he needs to get more active everywhere. There was a series last night where I saw him, imagine this, confused defensively, and it led to an easy layup. Where he didn't know who to pick up, and the guy just he almost screened for the Timberwolves, right? Like, just didn't know where he was, and that's classic. And you can put up with things like that when you're dropping dimes all the time, and you're making 3-pointers, and you're shooting 40%, 45% from three. But he's not doing that. And I think Tim was onto something. 1 second. I think Tim was onto something. The karma of the whole thing. If the dude just gets the shots, maybe all that weight will be lifted off of him. Like right now, what's he doing? Anyway, that's a weird karma.
Obviously, COVID hasn't affected their ability to play right now, but maybe in some weird way, it's created.
Well, I think that's a psychological thing right now. Like when you sign that big of a contract, and yet you're unwilling to do that for your team, and you know behind the scenes, the Nuggets are like, here's the information. Here's what you should do. You telling me when we go to Golden State that guy can't play for us? Are you freaking kidding me? Or when we go on an East Coast road trip, that guy won't be able to play for us? Are you freaking kidding me? So he needs to get that straightened out and figure it out. And I understand personal decisions, right? But damn, you just signed a huge ass contract, man. You know what I mean? Like,
if you really want to be a champion, you'll bite the bullet because it's what's best for your team.
Teamwork.
At that point, I'm sorry, you're a professional athlete. At that point, you're not doing stuff in your off time or whatever your personal beliefs are, or come secondhand to what you do for that organization and your teammates, because that's your career, and it's called professionalism and being smart and being a man about it, and realizing the best way to help your team is to jump on the bandwagon of being vaccinated so you can play when you go on those road trips to different states that have stricter guidelines than we do.
And I think psychologically, this is obviously have no insight here at all, but I think psychologically that's affecting. What were you going to say about MPJ?
No, I just think he just doesn't have any effort. It's weird, and I think maybe that's part of it. He doesn't seem engaged.
Yeah,
he seemed a little bit more engaged, like the last couple games.
Yeah,
like it was on the defensive end, like creating like that nice steal early in the game against the Mavs to get a dunk, and be engaged in other ways. Rebounding, being
last night was good.
We always talked at like Malone and others always talked about if Jamal wasn't shooting the ball well, how could you affect the game in other ways? I would say the same with MPJ right now. How can you affect the game in other ways? He has one of the best shots in the NBA. It's just and that's why I agree with Hastings when he says it's going to come, but I don't know. It's weird. It seems just not engaged, in my opinion, in regards with his effort. And it's getting there. I think he did a better job. How we always talk about MPJ is like working inside out and not forcing it.
Yeah.
Because he is, prior to this season, he was one of the most efficient players in NBA history.
Right.
And how he scored his 19, 20 points a game. Right now he's not there, and we're trying to like. Oh yeah. You saw like
we are trying to get him the ball
consistently off of these like double handoff screens to try to get him movement, and the thing about MPJ is he doesn't need that much space, but like kind of in his head, right? When it doesn't start falling, like even when someone kind of closes that gap a little bit, where you know someone's not really challenging your shot, but closing out on you. Now he's passing it. We've seen that happen with Jamal too a little bit sometimes when he didn't have confidence in his shot. So I think it's going to come, but hopefully he realizes that he's a bigger part than just his scoring. But it's been really frustrating, no doubt. That's been one of the negatives in the turnovers. Obviously, the turnovers have been a huge part.
One last comment
The
on
last couple games are losses. Not. I mean, we've won the last 2 games, but the games that we have lost.
last comment on MPJ is, as we've continued to berate him here for about 5 minutes. Once he gets the shot, he'll be way more in tune when that 5G's in him. Like he'll be everything. Everything will start to come back together.
It's like free.
He'll all of a sudden just be raining.
HDTV.
All right. Other negatives. We don't want to, linger on the negatives of a 4-2 start and a pretty impressive start, honestly.
Let it linger.
Would you want to? Would you like to? Would you like to let it linger? Any other negatives from the start of the season?
We said this last year, but the amount of minutes that Jokic plays.
Already adding up.
And that goes back to what we talked about with their lack of depth, but also we have to have him on the court because he's our best player and not everybody else is playing around him. And he is in great shape. He's gotten in even better shape every offseason since he's been with the Nuggets, and he comes more ready to play every year. But, we're playing 82 games. It's a grueling season. We already had one injury scare with him. And it just makes me nervous that maybe it's just more of a fear now because I saw him almost get injured, to where if we're playing him all these minutes, I have that fear now, I guess, that something could happen.
Yeah.
And it makes me nervous. I guess maybe that's not a negative, but more of like a keep your eye on it and makes me nervous. But
yeah, I don't have this shouldn't be counted as a negative, but maybe just a little disappointing until last night is Monte Morris, right? I didn't know what to expect from him, trying to fill the void of Jamal Murray, but I've seen him play better, and I think that's what's frustrating is he's not playing up to his potential fully. Last night he had a good game though, so
he started to turn it around against the Jazz.
Yeah, so maybe he's starting to feel it, starting to find it a little bit. But certainly at the start of the season, the first 4 games, I was a little disappointed in what he brought to the table. But he's playing better now, so maybe he's figured it out. Any disappointments or negatives here at the beginning?
Yeah, we lead the league in turnovers.
Yeah,
that has to be something we get better at. We can't turn the ball over at the clip that we are.
What is it? 19 a
20.
game? 20,
averaging 20 a game.
Oh.
Not good. That's a lot. That's a lot of turnovers.
If you think, and Liz and I were talking about this the other night, like how many points do you get off a turnover if you're the opposite team? And I was like, you usually get a point a turnover. So you're giving up 20 points.
Yeah, something or half a point. Live ball turnovers, right? Like because fouls, offensive fouls or turnovers, so on and so forth.
Usually it's about a point a turnover.
Yeah, fair. Yes, agreed. So that needs to be addressed. Obviously, why I've been complaining so much about the rotations and not playing Bones until last night is the bench. The bench is almost the worst in the league too. We're negative. The differential is negative 23. Till last night it was when the bench went in. Everybody collectively negative 23 in point differential. So really helping teams get back in the game, or teams that even when we're close to, like if we're only down by 2 or 3, now our starters come back in and they're down 12 or 13. So we need to get that figured out. And I know Malone it's the writing's on the wall, and that what do we got to do to fix that? And we saw that last night finally with Bones playing and him adjusting his rotations. He can't just do the 5 on 5 off kind of thing with the starters. He's starting to stagger.
Yeah, he's staggering.
The last 2 games, I'm a little worried. I know Tim, and rightfully so, he's our best player, worried about Jokic's minutes. Barton is playing the whole first quarter and half of the second before he is subbed out.
Yeah.
While I think he's been one of our bright spots. Barton.
What?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get to that later.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that later.
Yeah. We'll actually impress and not talking shit about Will Barton. But I worry about him getting injured if you're going to continue to put him through that grind.
Good point.
Because he's a soft tissue injury waiting to happen. So that bench, turnovers, and obviously we're not shooting the ball well collectively from the 3-point line. I know we're not going to be probably top 10 in that, but we need to be top 12, 15 in 3-point percentage to really, obviously when we get Jamal back, that would help too, but we got to make open threes.
Yeah, we're not shooting it well now. We will. A lot of that is MPJ.
There's only 5 games in this season.
Yeah. Let's be real. A lot of that's MPJ. His 3-point shot's got to come along. Positives though.
And JaMychal Green.
JaMychal Green needs to just not play right now until he figures out whatever the heck is wrong with him. I don't know what it is, but he's not doing
his shot.
He's
not what he was doing last year.
Well, he's not doing anything. It's really frustrating. He did hit a turnaround jumper last night, and I thought that might get him going a little bit, and it didn't really. But yeah, he seems out of it almost, as if the Jeff Green pickup has made him weird because there's 2 greens. Have you guys ever had too many greens?
Yeah, plenty of times. It's called Telluride Blues and Brews 2013.
I don't even remember.
That was an instance.
It's happened a couple times.
But that was an example of too many greens. But we have 2, and one of them seems to be playing pretty well, and the other one seems to not be doing anything, which is frustrating. On to, may I take a second for a Grafundamental?
Yeah, Grafundamental.
Last night, okay, so the game before last night, was that the Mavs? Yeah, the Mavs game, Bones comes in late and just tries to showboat his butt up and down the court. Like trying to do weird dribble moves and like fake passes and like
minutes with Malone.
Exactly, and just tries to do like all these crazy things. Last night he comes in, he has a 3-on-2 breakaway, and he's running the point. And what does he do? A bounce pass. He looks off the defender, a nice solid 2-handed bounce pass to Monte Morris for the left hand. No, it's to Barton. For the left-handed layup, and I was like, that's a fundamental right there.
Fundamental.
I wonder if Malone got in his ear and was like, dude, if you want to play, you got to do things the right way. Because he also did a couple other things fundamentally correct last night where you're like, an NBA player just did that? What, he jump stopped? Did he just jump stop? Like, I don't know. Anyway, proud of Bones for that.
Yeah, that was my Grafundamental too. I was like,
was it?
Well, Hastings really pointed it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're right, Hastings.
Well, no, when I watched it, I was like, dude, he looked it off and then bounced past. Like, perfect 3-on-2 work. And then Barton didn't try to do anything special. He just went up with a chinned left-handed layup. I was like, what? Am I watching high school basketball here? It was crazy. But it was good. Positives from the start of the season. Let's go.
Mine doesn't really have to do with games, but all the videos that Jamal has been putting out of himself working his ass off, shooting threes, standing and dunking. I know we're not going to have him until midway through the season.
Whoa. He's standing and dunking?
Yeah.
I haven't seen this. All right.
Yeah, he like touched the rim. Like, he got it over, but it's still considered a dunk. Like,
I'm a white man.
That's white boy dunk.
That's a white boy dunk. That's a white
That's a
boy
white boy
standing and
dunk.
dunking. But he's nailing threes, and I think that's a huge positive because it's showing you how hard he's worked his butt off from his injury. And thankfully, the injury wasn't as bad as it could have been. It was still an ACL, obviously, but I've loved watching the videos he's putting out there of him working.
Yeah.
He's putting them out of him lifting weights, of him doing rope drills, obviously on the court stuff. But what I've really been, which I've always been impressed with, is on court stuff. But it's been fun to see since his knee injury. But the off court, when you see his videos of his off court work, you know, it really makes me feel like that guy, he has a goal of coming back and coming back mean and coming back ready to play and that excites me, and I think that's a positive.
Yeah, you know what I like about him? He's talking to his teammates. In particular, he's trying to make Bol better. Like if you ever look at him on the sidelines, Bol's
coach.
right next to him, and Jamal is telling him everything.
Coaching him.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like he's trying to make him better. So there's something there. That's a positive with Jamal Murray.
It's a leader.
It's
leading.
It is leading. It is.
Positives, our defense. Our defense has looked really good. When we lost Wes Unseld Jr. to the Washington Wizards as a coach, he was our defensive coordinator. So it was going to be interesting to see how that was, how we would play defensively. And I can't remember I think it's Fernandez, not Adelman, who out of the assistant coaches is like our defensive coordinator, if you will. And we've been holding a lot of people under the last 5 or 6 games. We've been holding people under teams under 100 points.
Yeah.
It's not something we're used to.
No.
So at least while our offense has been not up to par what we're used to, the defense has stepped up. There is the effort on that end. And we're rebounding well.
Yep.
We're challenging shots.
Yep.
And if we can continue that once we get all the pieces together, that bodes well for us in the playoffs. So the defense has been playing really well. Obviously, Jokic still playing at a MVP level again, even though people haven't been mentioning it. What's new? And a couple other people I'm really happy have been playing well. And I know I already said it, Will Barton and Aaron Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys have been playing great. PJ Dozier, I mean, the first game, I was like, oh man, if he's going to be knocking these kind of threes down.
Yeah.
When he played well against the Suns, but he hasn't shot the ball as well since then. But yeah, so overall, our defense has been gritty, tough, determined, playing well. Maybe it can be. I don't know if you guys have been following, but they created a necklace, a defensive player of the game necklace.
No,
that they
awesome.
hand out.
Nice.
That they hand
Like
out.
a turnover chain.
Yeah. And so,
What does it look like?
Last night,
Please describe it thoroughly.
It's a gold chain that says defensive, like DPOG, defensive player of the game.
Cool.
Yeah. And last night they gave it to Barton, obviously with that huge block at the end of the game, but they wanted to give it to Jokic. The previous game, it was to Aaron Gordon, who just shut down Luka Doncic.
He did.
Which we already mentioned this one because we wanted to play the Mavs in the playoffs because we thought that we matched up well against them. And I think it shows that we do match up well against the Mavericks, regardless of Carlisle or Kidd being the coach.
The Mavericks have taken a step backwards. Which
I
is
thought
really
they'd take a step
unfortunate.
forwards.
Yeah, they took a step back. And no Porzingis a couple nights ago. So.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so I think creating that culture of defense has definitely helped. Let's just start shooting the ball better, baby.
Yeah.
They're so focused on corner threes during training camp. They kept talking about corner threes, corner threes, corner threes. Haven't seen very many corner threes yet.
No.
We did see a couple key ones. Bones hit a huge one. Rivers actually made one.
Yeah.
I would like to see MPJ get in the corner because he's money from there.
Yeah.
How can we get MPJ in the corner? We need to do that more often. So my positives right now of the season.
Oh, that is sweet. That's got like diamonds and stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
That is yep.
The chain.
The chain's got diamonds, folks. It's got diamonds. Shine bright like a diamond. Will the thrilling Will has been awesome, man. What a great start to the season for that dude, right? Will Barton has been amazing. Bones Highland, that guy is going to get run. He's going to get playing time. Last night proves it.
Hopefully, moving forward.
If he's our spark dude, right? He's our spark dude. Facu last year was our spark guy, right? Facu, people have caught on to him a little bit. It happens, right? People have caught on to MBJ a little bit. These things happen in the NBA. They learn how to defend you. Like, that's the way it goes. But, man, Bones is going to be our spark plug this year, and they're going to insert him into more games. I'm sure of it. Even earlier. Last night, he ran with the first team for a long portion of that second half when we were making our comeback. and he was a big part of it. He was passing well, he was shooting all right, but he was defending well. So I think he's going to be a big part of our season, honestly. May fill that void that Jamal Murray, that we lack with Jamal Murray. But those are all good things, man. I would say overall, just a super positive start. I wish we could have beat the Jazz in Utah, but I'm just happy Jokic didn't have a season-ending injury, which I was really concerned about there for a little bit. Cool. What else? Yeah, absolutely. This guy. Timmy, what else? Will?
Well,
Positives.
what else? Positives.
No.
We're covering a lot of positives. I'm just excited that Mile High basketball is back. I'm intrigued to see what this year's Earns jersey looks like.
Yeah, did you see the
heard
fake ass Nuggets?
Yeah.
They spelled Nuggets wrong.
I heard it was heard it's gonna be baby blue, but it's gonna have like the Earned logo on it, like last year, but it's gonna be that baby blue, like when we had Melo.
That's the rumor, huh?
Rumor has it, rumor mill.
Going back
Rumor
to the baby
mill.
blue for the city jersey.
Not the city jersey, the Earned jersey.
The Earn jersey. That's going to be later down the road. The city jersey's coming out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you gotta earn the Earned jersey.
Gotta earn the Earn jersey, bro.
Did you guys see Gordon dressed up as Mike Myers last night?
It wasn't Mike Myers, it's Jason.
That's right, Jason.
Yeah. Coming straight business.
Dude has big shoulders, man.
He's huge.
Like you see him in a basketball uniform, and like that dude's big, but then you see him in that leather coat. I'm like, holy crap! Yeah, those are big ass shoulders.
Big dude.
What's your best Halloween costume you ever had?
Mine was Dick Tracy. I had a Tommy gun. I had a suit. I was like first or second grade. I had a little suit. I had a yellow hat, a yellow slicker, and a little Tommy gun. And I was like, that's badass. And like I still have a picture of it. And I love my brother, but he looked like a fairy. He was dressed up like
Robin Hood, dude. That's how they dress then, asshole.
We're men in tights.
Sorry, he was Robin Hood.
That's what they look like. I dress like Robin Hood. So what?
That's like, yeah.
I captured the moment.
But the thing is if I give you a hard time, but our mom and dad weren't big into Halloween. But that year they actually tried.
Yeah.
They've had a legit costume. My Dick Tracy costume was awesome. That was my favorite.
Mom and dad really weren't into Halloween.
Which means I am now not much into Halloween. But there's a couple reasons for that, I think, as well.
I'm not into Halloween either, honestly. But Liz is, so such is life.
It was the first holiday after Pop's passed, too.
Right.
So I was in no mood to trick or treat.
No.
Or do any of that kind of stuff. And ever since then, I've just been like, meh.
Yeah. Well, the good news is the kids love it, Tim.
Kids love it.
Yeah. Well, best Halloween costume?
Couple. Younger.
I can only have one.
Oh, I can only have one? Okay.
No, go ahead. Go for it. Well,
No.
Younger and older?
Younger and older?
I had a Darth Vader costume that I was pretty happy
I
about
had a Darth Vader one that was pretty cool.
that I thought was pretty
Fifth
cool.
grade.
Yeah, like fourth grade, fifth grade. And then Dave, you were there. I was Indiana Jones.
Oh, God.
When we went to our friend's house and you battled Octane 91.
That was an apartment.
Hook up with a girl.
I'll never forgive you for that.
What was
That was Indiana Jones, man.
That's a good one. They're making another one.
Yeah, had the 5 o'clock shadow, all of it, the whip.
Did you get to use the whip in the bedroom?
Oh, jeez.
No comment.
Oh, God.
Oh, you dog.
As long as it worked out for you, because I was outside rap battling some dude who I really thought was going to throw me off the balcony of this 3-story apartment. So,
What was your
Octane
favorite
91.
costume
my favorite costume?
that you were all the time?
The one that...
Robin Hood.
No. The one that pops into my head is the guy who got ran over by
A car?
a car.
Yeah, and you had like tires.
And I did it all myself. I just took a
Were
white
you in
shirt.
like 8th grade or something?
No, 7th, 8th grade. 6 or 7. Yeah, I took a white shirt and I just put the black paint on it. We suck at Halloween, man. The graphs are no good at Halloween.
I was a cowboy more times than not. Just 'cause I
Right.
had all the stuff.
Yeah, you had all the stuff.
That's why I was really proud of Dick Tracy. I mean, I don't know.
I did the other night when we went to the Woodland Park High School treat street. which great job, all of Woodland Park High School, for putting that on as a community. I dressed up as Coach Beard from Ted Lasso.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I had all my Arsenal. I had like an Arsenal jumper on with the hat. It didn't. No one knew what I was.
You needed a Richmond shirt.
Well, I don't. There, you can buy them. You can buy them.
When I was in high school and had to do Treat Street, I was Emerald Lagazzi.
Yeah. Bam.
I'd throw the candy in kids' bags. And bam! And they would all scream, and the parents thought it was hilarious. Made several kids cry. Not even me trying to be scary, but trying to be Emerald.
Well, young Luna has this really cool ghost outfit that lights up. It's pretty sweet. And Emerson is going to be a skeleton pterodactyl skeleton. And wait till you see Harper's if you can get her to put it on. She is a scary clown. It's terrifying.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
It would.
She
Harper would.
No, it's like you'll have to see it. It's terrifying.
I hope she doesn't scare my little one.
I hope she does. Cool. All right.
That's all we costume.
There we go.
There you go.
Who's up next for the Nuggets?
The Grizzlies.
The Grizz.
Ja Morant.
Two of the Grizz.
Ja Morant. There was an interesting stat last night about Will Barton and Ja Morant.
Oh, yeah?
They're the only dudes in the NBA right now guards, averaging over 16, 4, and 4. Will Barton, Ja Morant. You would think there'd be others.
You mean 4 rebounds and 4 assists?
Yeah, 16, 4, and 4.
What's so you're saying Jokic isn't averaging that?
Guards.
Guards, yeah.
16, 4, and 4. You would think maybe Steph Curry might be in that conversation.
Yeah, maybe Russell Westbrook.
Oh, he's not.
Hey,
Oh, what was that whole argument they had the other night? Can someone enlighten me? I didn't get to see
Against
it.
OKC?
Yeah.
Are you talking about like with
No, I'm
Westbrook?
talking about when AD and freaking
They got into it on the. All I know is they got into it on the sidelines.
Just a wide and AD and they squashed it.
According to
What do you mean they squashed the beef?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Have you ever had squashed beef? I wonder what that tastes like. Is that tartar?
No.
Butternut squash and beef, huh?
No, like squashed beef. Not butternut squash.
We have. I haven't tried it, but we have little, those little packets you give little kids.
Of what?
Well, this one.
Of squashed beef?
This one. Well, we've had buffalo, chicken, and turkey.
What the hell are you talking about?
And it has other good vegetables in it.
Oh,
Like those squeeze
packets?
packets.
Squeeze
Squeeze packets. But these ones aren't just like fruits and vegetables. They're not like your weird like banana, kiwi, and spinach, kale.
Yeah, because you got to get more protein.
But this one's like buffalo.
Whoa.
and like it would be like buffalo, sweet potato, and something else.
You peeked a little bit.
squashed beef. It's squashed
beef.
Yeah.
It comes out and it's
Pureed
beef with like sweet potatoes and carrots.
I mean, is it cooked?
That's nasty.
I'm assuming we're not feeding raw meat to my child.
Oh man, that rap group from back in the day got it right. They did a whole skit. Oh, what were they called? They were awesome. But they did a whole skit on milkshakes, except they were meat shakes. It was like, hey, what do you want to eat today? They're going through a drive-through and they're like, I'll have a beef shake.
I'll have a beef shake.
And that's what we have now. We
got beef shake.
Those
Now
are
we got
packets. They're
yeah.
they're all right.
So that's what the Lakers are eating. Beef shakes.
I just think it's funny that we're only 6 games into the season. Westbrook's been tossed once, and there's been a scruffle on the bench.
Yeah.
And Melo has airballed a 3, all in 6 games.
Well, Melo airballing at 3 is not a.
Well, it was a wide open shot.
Didn't he have a great game
second
though
game.
against who was it? He had a great game where he scored like 26.
Yeah, no, but this wasn't the other night
Okay.
when Westbrook got kicked out.
Where do the Nuggets finish this season? Go, any of you? I don't care. I have my ideas.
I think we're in that 4 to 6 range.
Okay.
I think we're still good enough to.
Who's
be
better than us? Who finishes higher?
Jazz.
Let's play that game. Who finishes higher than us? Then that'll tell us where we finish.
Well, where did you think we were going to be before we play that game?
I'm with you. I think we're right around 6, 5 to 6.
4 to 6,
Five
yeah,
to
5 to
six,
6. Okay.
Who's better than us?
The Jazz,
Jazz Suns.
Suns. We've already beat the Suns.
Suns are
once,
having
so-
trouble out the gate though. Jazz and Suns. Clippers, but they don't have Kawhi.
I'll take the Suns away. All right. Well, let's play
Maybe
this
they'll
game.
Whoa,
Lakers
hold
are
on.
having some trubs.
I'm pulling this up. Hold on.
Right now we're the three.
Right
like,
now
tied
we're the
for
three.
Yeah.
And we just beat the shit out of the 4.
Right.
I guess you got to worry about the Jazz. The Warriors are the first. And then when
Warriors.
they get Klay Thompson back,
Yeah.
you're going to have to watch out for them.
Jazz, Warriors, Suns. So 4.
So they'd be in that 4 to 6.
Jazz were. Really? You don't think the Lakers finish higher than us?
A lot of the experts that I've been looking at, and based off the first 6 games and their chemistry, I think they're gonna struggle. They're gonna be in that. I say we're 4 to 6. They're gonna be in that 4 to 6.
You think the Warriors finish higher than? You think the Warriors are in the top 3? Damn it, Will.
He said he wouldn't do it. He did.
He's done it twice. Hard.
No, here's the thing. They were good last year, and they kind of found their groove. They're playing great right now, and they're going to get Klay back. And if Klay can be even partial of what he once was, then yes, they can be in the top 4.
I do think the Warriors are something to be reckoned with this year. I think the Jazz are obviously ahead of us for whatever reason. I think the Lakers finish ahead of us. I'm not convinced about the Suns. Obviously not convinced about the Clippers.
The Clippers suck.
Yeah.
Well, without Kawhi and his knee injury, they're not as good, obviously.
I mean, we're only 6 games in.
I mean, the Warriors look good, man. They have a lot of depth.
The Warriors are going to be tough, man.
They shoot 3.
Suns are good. They're going to have a lot of depth. I know they're starting out slow, but they play a lot of good teams.
They're going to get it going. We just got to watch out. That's why I say 4 to 6.
Teams that are going to be better this year, Timberwolves, even though we beat them. The Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are going to be better.
You're right. The Grizzlies are going to be better. Yeah. Are the Jazz the class of the West here? Are they the class of the West, or is it the Lakers, or is it still the Suns?
I could see just how good they are at home. The Jazz having the best record in the NBA
again,
but as always, come playoff time, just not being able to
finish. When Rudy Gobert is your center.
I mean, and Donovan Mitchell is amazing, and they got guys like Clarkson, Bogdanovich, and
stupid Bogdanovich.
I actually think they like. I kind of like that they got Hassan Whiteside.
That was a great pickup for them.
They've lost favorite. I think one interesting thing for them is that they lost Niang. I don't know where Niang is, but
yeah, he was good for them.
Yeah, he was good for them.
Tim, where's Niang?
George's.
Tim, try to spell Niang.
Niang?
Niang. In.
Hey, I did it right.
Oh, there it is.
It says Jazz.
Oh,
76ers.
76ers. Oh, man, what a disappointment. I'm glad we didn't trade for Ben Simmons. All those rumors, man. I was like, no, please no.
No, they laughed it off for Jamal Murray.
They're like, you guys are stupid. We would never do that.
Yeah.
So thanks for trying.
Who's your guys' favorite non-Nugget player?
Non-Nugget player. Okay. I like this game.
Favorite non-Nugget?
Favorite non.
He doesn't have to be a superstar. He can be someone you enjoy watching.
It's Klay Thompson for me.
Reggie Jackson.
Is he from Palmer?
Yeah, he's a Colorado Springs kid.
Reggie Jackson's fun. I like Boban Marjanovic.
He's fun.
He's just a massive human being. He makes that basketball look like the way I make a baseball look.
Yeah.
Like, I hold a baseball.
I would say like the mini basketballs. The mini basketballs.
That dude's hands. He touches his. I'm not saying he's great, but I enjoy watching him playing because it cracks me up. And he runs like bent over and his knees.
He's also like best friends with Jokic.
Maybe we should trade for Boban.
Boban would be a great backup center.
Yes.
And I would be buying his jersey instantly.
I'm down.
They would love him.
Oh, bring Boban in.
And you get Bol
and Conchar. Trade a friend for a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Conchar's out. Boban's in. Who else do we send on that? Bol. We send on that. And that's it.
Corneli, maybe?
Yeah, you get all those. Just give us Marjanovic.
I just like watching him. I don't know.
Dude, that'd be great.
It'd be great.
They would love him.
He reminds me.
City would love him, dude.
He reminds me of like George Mirashan.
Yeah.
Like from my Giant. Like,
Is he going to be the next giant in The Princess Bride 2?
Well, he was already in John Wick.
He wasn't John Wick.
What? Which one? 3?
Second one.
Second one.
He's
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
really?
he's an
Yeah,
assassin.
John Wick kills him
Yeah.
in like 10 minutes of the movie.
I did not know that.
He's an assassin trying to kill John Wick.
That's
Have you
awesome.
seen his commercials about the
M&Ms?
goldfish?
Oh, the goldfish. Yeah.
And he makes funny like, boom, Boban size head. And like
Yeah.
the other guy's like, oh, how about you get? It's hilarious.
It is funny.
Sorry.
That'd
Can
be
you imagine being like,
dream
you know what your
train.
name is? Boban.
Well, it probably makes sense in Serbia.
Yeah.
Here, it'd be like, you know what your name is? Dave. Yeah. Boban's probably common in
You know what your
Serbia.
name? Tall guy.
Boban means tall guy
Oh.
in Serbian or whatever Eastern European language they speak.
I enjoy watching him. He's just so big.
Richard Jefferson made a comment the other night. I'd like to get your guys' perspective on it. He said that the former Yugoslavia, which is now made up of like Serbia and
Serbia, Montenegro.
yeah, like all those places, the place where freaking Joe, who's the dude from Dallas again?
Doncic.
Doncic is from there too. He said pound for pound, that's the best basketball area in the world.
He said outside of the U.S. He corrected himself.
Did he?
If
Okay.
it's outside the
Outside of
U.S.,
the
I'll
US.
give him that. It's not
Okay.
better than that.
But
No, you can see that when
There's more
Slovenia
people
played,
in the US.
When Slovenia finally played another country, like Australia or whatever, in the Olympics.
I would say Canada is the next best behind the United States.
Canada's got some. If everybody can play, Canada's got some ballers.
Why don't they all play together? It never makes sense to me. Like when they do international stuff, they don't all like.
Well, Jamal was going to play in the Olympics
Was
until he blew out his
He
knee.
was gonna play.
But then they didn't qualify. Like,
How do you not qualify?
They had
Because they don't all play together.
They got Wiggins,
Waiters.
Deion Waiters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
He's Canadian.
saying?
We'll
They
go
have a
back
bunch
to
of them.
country.
Yeah, they got Drake. He's pretty good. You guys heard of him?
Freaking hate Drake.
No, there's some good ones that we're forgetting right now.
A bunch of people I don't know.
No, come on. Canadian basketball players, go.
No, I saw
Steve Nash.
Hold
Steve
on.
Nash still playing. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I thought that was an interesting comment, and I almost agreed with it because you've got Porzingis, you've got Doncic, you've got Jokic, you've got
So you're talking about all the Baltics.
the Baltic region.
Andrew Wiggins, Jamal Murray, R.J. Barrett, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander,
Oh, Gilgeous Alexander. Yeah, he was legit.
Devin Brooks, Joseph Corey. Quite a few. Trey Lyles.
Trey
Lyles.
Lyles.
We always wanted him to be better than he was.
Yeah, well, he was never going to be better than he was.
There's quite a few. They could put together a really good team, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know why they haven't. They've got.
I would take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, it says Rick Fox was from Canada.
No way. I knew he was too good looking to be American.
Too good looking to be good at basketball and American.
Damn it, Rick Fox. All right. Well, we're going to wind things down here. Predictions on where we finish in the playoffs. We all seem to think
Yeah, the
we're
rest
4
of the
to
season.
6. We're 4 to 6-ish.
What's the Nuggets record?
Nuggets record at the end of the season? For me, we're above 50. We are 52 and 30.
Yep.
Because that's easy math.
Yeah.
Anyone
That's
else?
easy math, baby.
Oh yeah, we'll be in that. No, I'll agree with you. We'll be in that 52 to 55 win range. I think.
Yeah. Which will put us right.
52 to 30, because that's easy
Yeah.
math.
That'll put us right in like the 4 seed, 3, 4, 5, 6 seed, right?
Yeah,
there.
you just never know how it's going to
30
play
plus
out.
50 is 80, plus 2, 82 games, 52.
You never know how it's going to play out.
Jackpot.
What's your prediction?
52 and 30.
We're all
I'm going to say
50.
53 and 29.
Oh, hey-o. I
Hey-o!
like it. I like it a lot.
We're playing one of those. We played Memphis twice back to back in Memphis.
Oh, one of those things?
One of those things.
I think we get at least one.
Monday,
obviously.
Wednesday.
I think we get the Monday
We get
game
one.
and lose the Wednesday
We get
game.
one of them.
Oh, you just got to get one of them. That's all that matters.
Morant is playing well lately.
Yeah. No, he's legit. I like Ja Morant.
Before we end this
I
episode,
don't. Ah! He's a new Dame. Ah! Let me scream.
I like the no calls.
Yes,
that are happening.
thank you. I was about to get into this. Yeah.
I just want to say I think that's the best thing, and I get there's a lot of superstars who are pissed off.
We haven't had to have a timeout with Timmy about the refs lately.
No, but the whole thing is it's awesome. I get there are certain players who really benefited from it who are struggling with it, but welcome to how the Nuggets have had to play even during those times. We never got any of those freaking calls. So I think it's a great way to even out the NBA, and I think those other players are going to have to adapt. I've always felt like those shots were bullshit. There was a thing called player control when we were growing up that suddenly just disappeared, and that was when an offensive player wouldn't make a basketball move and would run into a defender and it would be an offensive foul. And not that they're calling them offensive fouls now, but there needs to be some kind of legit basketball move for it to be a foul. And so I praise the NBA, and I don't do this often, but I will praise the NBA for making that change.
I have not been talking crap about the refs early in the season. Overall, for the most part, it's been legit.
Jokic never gets any calls.
We're still one of the worst in the league and going to the free throw line, but that's kind of how it always will be.
Yeah.
But like they were talking the other night about what's that guy from Atlanta? Trey. He went from 8 attempts, averaging 8 attempts at the foul line last year. He's down to 4 this year.
James Harden shot 19 the other night.
Did he?
Yeah, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. But I do like it at this
point. They're trying.
He shot 19 attempts the other night?
Yeah.
Well, he only had 15 through the first 4 games.
Right. And then he shot 19. Because it all equals out, right?
He complained enough.
Probably.
And finally the NBA was like, give him a game. I don't know. I'm just saying I like that. I hope they keep it. I hope they stay with it.
I like it.
I like it. Great point.
Point of emphasis.
Point of emphasis. Emphasis. Hey, emphasis.
I felt like I said it like Mitch Hedberg too.
Yeah, he did. Point of emphasis. Hey, I got a joke for you guys. 2 apples walk into a bar and then, banana.
All right.
Love you, Mitch Hedberg, wherever you are.
I like to ask a fan questions I know it won't say yes to. Do you keep papers in place?
It's so stupid, but it's hilarious.
It is funny. Yeah, it's really funny.
All right.
Well,
good first episode, gentlemen.
Hey,
glad to be back.
Good.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Thank you all for listening in to our
listeners.
Yeah, over the course, I think we had more than that, maybe even 4.
Double.
Yeah. We thank all our listeners to always tuning in to Bros on Nuggs. This was season 2 premiere, Halloween Bones show. And let's not forget, bum 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 bum.
Tell me what you gonna do,
but ain't nowhere to run.
I can't.
Is this gonna come for you?
It's gonna come for you.
Olympic Crossroads. That's the most saddest song that they sing. That Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Do you guys remember the original Crossroads? So that was their main one. That was the one they became famous for. But on the first album, there was
I'm a first of the month kind of guy.
Oh,
beautiful.
Get up, cash your checks and get up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Get up.
There's a lot of good Bone songs.
Oh man. All right.
We can't rap like Busy Bone.
No.
Not a lot of people can.
Nor should you try.
No. But we can try to be silly.
Well, cheers, guys.
Go Broncos!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Broncos are probably winning right now.
Because we're not watching, right?
Oh, Thug Love. I love Thug Love. I had to look up some songs. I can't remember. I haven't listened to Bones in forever. Go Nuggets!
Go Nuggs!
Go Nuggs!